Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk some Shiba Inu. Okay, this is going to be a very interesting article, and we've talked about this kind of story within Bitcoin, some of the more blue chips, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and it's never really touched on it within some of the meme coins. All right, so I want to get down into it. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Shiba Inu and the US government. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. All right, so make sure you guys all smash that like button. Please subscribe and stick around to the end, okay? And let's get down into it. All right, I do want to touch upon what Shib is doing today on the price. We are trading hands roughly at that 401353 for the pretty much entire crypto market, and this hasn't really happened a lot over the last few days and weeks, but we're essentially flat. There's nothing really driving the market higher or lower. We're kind of in a holding pattern. I think as we look for some of the uncertainty, we are at a 45 within fear and greed, if we want to talk about that index. But the big story here is Bitcoin is trying to get back over 60K, 59,739 right now on the charts. That's what we'll be monitoring. I think that within some of the TA surrounding what the big movers are doing, I think all eyes are what's going to happen within Bitcoin if we can get over 60,000. So that's kind of what we have going on within the charts, within the prices. As always, guys, not financial advice. And this is where we're going to get into the U.S. government. Okay, now the U.S. government holds billions of Shiba Inu. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. We've talked about some of the confiscations and seizures where they do hold a ton of Bitcoin. But this is where I didn't really know myself that they hold Shib. So this is kind of what we have going on. This is something that is drawing, I think, the eyes of a lot of retail and institutional players out there alike. Now, this data is coming out from Arkham Intelligence. Okay, they hold 54.89 billion Shiba Inu, roughly. So that's a lot of tokens. Okay, that will be essentially part of the pie of where the U.S. government holds more than 100 cryptos. Okay, and that is about $12.43 billion in US dollars. That's kind of crazy to put in perspective, right? So if you put that in comparison to what the market cap is from a dollar amount, okay, within the entire market cap in the cryptocurrency sector, you can kind of figure out essentially what a $2.11 trillion market cap is in that ratio. Okay, so that's kind of crazy to put in perspective. It's not a lot, but when you think about it, that's a percentage of that total market cap that just sits, right? Doesn't do anything. It's not traded. It's just kind of hanging out. So when we talk about the market cap, I think it's very important we account for some of these balances and holdings. It's not just Shib. Like I said, it's over 100 cryptos. And I got to admit, I did not know that it was that many cryptos, okay? I knew there was a handful, but I did not think it was over 100, okay, in this magnitude, all right? So to put in perspective, at the current price levels for Shiba Inu, this allotment that the U.S. government does have, this equates to roughly $729,000 in USD. That is what that Shib is worth. Now, what we can see is, we've talked about it, right? We've talked about President Trump, if he was to be reelected, he wants to make the United States a national stockpile of Bitcoin, okay? So I'm not sure what they would do, if they would swap cryptos, if they would swap some of the Shiba Inu and accumulate Bitcoin, or if they're just going to start accumulating crypto alike, okay? And that's something where it's very important to understand that that is where you look for whales within Shib, right? Shiba Inu, Doge, a lot of meme coins, the whales kind of tell the story. They conduct the narrative. And within the U.S. government, they essentially are a whale in some form or fashion, okay? It's almost $1 million that they hold of Shiba Inu. So if you do hold $1 million of Shib, yes, you're considered a whale. If you move $100,000 at once, that is a whale transaction. So in the meantime, we can understand the concept that the U.S. government does not want to sell any of these cryptos. I think that's kind of a common trend. It's not just Shib, it's every one of those 100 cryptos. They're not trading them, they're just hanging out. And I think that's important to understand. They don't really have a cost basis, okay? But they do hold it. They're eligible to hold it, and they're going to continue to hold it. They're not going to sell, okay? That's just my take. But when we see this, you saw Germany recently when they dumped $2 billion worth of BTC that's kind of what has shocked the market. That's why we're down at 60,000. We had a little bit of a false rebound, and now we've settled below 60K, okay? And this was right at the point where Bitcoin hit all-time highs, right? So that's kind of what we have going on. You look for the collapse that ensued shortly after, getting down to 57K. That's where people thought, Bitcoin hitting 55,000. That's going to firmly be in the cards, 54, 55K. It depends on who you talk to. But we've since leveled off pretty nicely, okay? We're brushing right under 60,000. Depends on what chart you look at. Some places we're just really close to touching 60K. Others, it's more of a 59 flat. So it depends on which exchange, which market you're looking at. But at the time of this recording, I did want to kind of put it in perspective where Shib's at. We're at that 401329 roughly. It's hovering back and forth, okay? But like I said, basically flat. We have rebounded kind of nicely. And now as Shib looks right now, as we look at the 13th ranked crypto in total market cap, we're down 0.05%, up 0.7 on the over the last 24 hours. So it's kind of just hanging out, right? We're in the balance. I think most notably, if we can get back up to that 403, I think that's kind of the level that I look for really to be a clear indication that the market is back. I did have the privilege to go to ETH Toronto, the Futurist conference out there this week, and I do want to tell you that there was a lot of Shib people. It's an official sponsor. Shib was an official sponsor in a lot of ways. We got to talk to people about Treat. We got to talk to people about some of the projects building on Shibarium. Very optimistic. I just don't think the market right now in this present day is fully ready for what Shibarium and a lot of these projects can bring to the table. It's just the market conditions right now, okay? Not saying that it's never going to change, but there is optimism with a lot of the creators, a lot of these projects being built. People are very, very optimistic about it. It was a very nice little talk with the people behind K9. And really, I think that the consensus that I've had from learning about all this stuff a little bit deeper and really in more of an intimate setting than just looking at articles, charts, price levels, you get a further understanding what they're actually building. And that's important because I think as crypto traders, we don't get that necessary information to make the best decisions possible. And I just want to further reiterate, I just don't think that the current crypto market is ready for everything that Shiba Inu can bring to the table in terms of utility and what's coming from Shibarium. I think it's a way kind of ahead of its time, if you will. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. As always, remember, this is a channel where we talk crypto every single day. So if you do want to get on board, make sure you guys all subscribe down below, smash that like button. It's totally free to do so. Appreciate you all watching. Thanks again, and we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.